Welcome back. And do you remember the last history video I was talking about how I was gonna do a video on the sister ship of this ship, the SS America, and this is it. And so I kind of recommend you watch the last video first, mostly because this is kind of the episode 2, part 2 kind of thing, and then also it's a well, it is also I kind of go like all like I guess in depth about the history and stuff of like the companies and things and stuff in the last video. So yeah, so let's get right to it. So this is the SS United States. So its construction was between 1950 and 1952, or 50, I think 52, 53, and its main voyage was 1953. And on the main voyage, it was transatlantic, which means it went from New York to London, just across the Atlantic, and it actually it broke the record for the fastest journey with 3 days, 10 hours, and 40 minutes, going at an average 40.91 miles per hour. It's basically 40 miles per hour, close to 41, not quite there. And that actually is, and that record is still held today, almost 70 years after it. So that's pretty impressive that no other ship could be able to break that record. But I think no one does it, mostly because not many ships sail across the Atlantic anymore. So yeah, maybe like with all these modern ships, I think they could easily break the record, but not many go across Atlantic. Maybe except if they're built like over in like Europe and they're stationed in the Caribbean. See I'm getting at. So yeah. So the ship continued its service under the United States lines, and until the 1960s, when the dark ages of ships began. And in the dark ages, a lot of like shipping companies failed, and a lot of ships didn't make it. But luckily, well, so a lot of ships didn't make it because airplanes have evolved so much that now they can go across the Atlantic without stopping and refueling in Iceland. So now people like, why go on a ship and be at sea for almost a week if I can get on a plane and be on a plane for like 7 to 12 hours? And it was kind of cheaper too, so I can see why. So, so, so then in 1969, the United States lines finally said, "You're done," and pretty much left us to die in a dock in Virginia, where while being there for a couple years, it went through 7 owners before finally it was seized by U.S. Marshals, and so multiple companies had interest in it, like Norwegian Cruise Lines, and the U.S. Navy even had interest in it and making it into a troop carrier / hospital ship, and that was actually made for. Well, that's why it has that design. It was actually designed as a troop carrier just in case World War III ever broke out. It never did. As of 2020, it never did. So, yay. So, okay, so now, because no one really wanted it, it's finally seized by U.S. Marshals, and basically everything was sold at auction. And even some of, a lot of the furniture and stuff was all sold, and most of it actually went to a restaurant, which closed down in like the 90s, 2000s, and donated all to the Maritime. It was like the Mariners Museum, something along that lines. So then after being gone through all these people, it finally got bought, and it got bought in auction by a guy named Cantor, and some business partners of his. One of his business partners, who was kind of in on buying it too, was a guy from Turkey. So they then towed the ship to Turkey, and then later, yeah, it was Turkey, and then what was the other place? So then it went to Ukraine, where they pretty much stripped the whole ship, like the inside kind of thing. And so after going through some other buyers, then it was brought to Philadelphia, and basically it was parked, and that's where it is today. And so it went through like all this, like all these people were like, hey, we might use this as like a, like a whole, like a floating hotel, casino, even an office building. And they even actually had ideas to use it, in the lower decks, put a whole bunch of computers down there, use it as like mini like internet kind of thing. But nothing really went through. But then in the early 2000s, I guess like a group was formed called the. So pardon if I get this wrong. It's SS United States Conservancy. Conservancy. Okay. Uh, I'm just gonna call it the Preservation Society. Is that fine? No, I'll just call it the group. There you go, the group. I'm going with that because if I can't pronounce a word, I'm gonna try to avoid that word as much as I can. So, if I don't know how to pronounce it, I avoid it as much as I can. So, so then I went through. Somehow the group, somehow got on the National Register of Historic Places, which means it basically has historic value, and basically means the chances of it getting destroyed are now very slim, and then maybe more people actually might pay attention to it. And so then in the early 2000s, Norwegian Cruise Lines finally decided, hey, we can use this ship, mostly because it was creating it was called Norwegian Cruise Line America. So basically these ships, there'll be older ships, and they'll sail, through America, mostly like in Hawaii and stuff. But then the financial crisis happened, and yeah, and so it never really went off. So then by 2015, the group kind of finally got to the point that they might have to scrap the ship. And this thing is nicknamed America's Flagship. Probably should have said it earlier in the video. But somehow they raised over $600,000 to help save the ship for only a little while, because in that dock, whoops, wrong picture. Because in that dock, it's 60,000. It was 80,000 a month. Now it's 60,000 a month for maintenance and docking. So that's a lot of money. So then recently, as of 2018, this company called RXR Realty finally decided, hey, let's actually do something with it. And unlike most people who do it, like, who, do stuff, then do some experiments and, like, look at the ship and stuff, and say, hey, we're done. This group's actually managed to stay for 2 years, and so far they've actually gotten the most, I guess, stuff done to actually do something with it. Like, like, even something last month came out about it, saying how, I'm just going on news, that, that now, some other, like, business leaders and stuff now get involved with it, and now cities like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Miami, LA, San Diego, and a whole bunch of other coastal cities now want to be part of, are now wanting to have the ship in the harbor. So if they ever do refurbish it, it's going in the harbor kind of thing. But also the thing is that the ship itself, one of the things that they want to do is they want 25,000 square feet be put aside and use it as a museum. And also, remember earlier in the video when I talked about that restaurant that has all that memorabilia and artifacts from the ship that I got at the auction. It eventually closed. Donate all of its we donate all the artifacts from the ship to a museum, only for that ship to go around and donate it to the group or the society. And so now it has basically all the stuff from the ship. So yeah. So now it seems like some stuff is finally going through, and as of 2020, it might have a chance of surviving as something greater to make people even happy and to make people happy again. So yeah, so down in the link of the description, I put the name. I'm gonna put the name of the society, the group that kind of helps, with the ship. And it's just mostly that I just so now I want to do it, but I have a feeling that I might totally forget about it. So hopefully I don't forget about it. So yeah. So if you have any cool facts about the ship, any yeah, any cool facts about the ship, any stories about it that you have, any cool stories about it, and if anything, well, put everything down in the comments below if you have questions, complaints, answers to those questions. They're just saying comments like "good job," kind of thing. I put everything while I reply to everyone. If it's replyable, if you just put "good," I'm oh, okay, but okay. So if you like it, so please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.